Hey, it's Don, the Auction Professor. I was on a roll today. I had a lot of business dealings going on. I am working actually this coming up month here. We start our Halloween artwork, and I had some meetings on that too because I'm doing some for a couple local businesses that we're going to be handing them out as promotional items for Halloween, which is what I usually try and do. And usually what I try to do for some of that is get the artwork done ahead of time and sold before it's ever printed. But that's my business time today, was dealing with some of the printer issues and things like that. So I wanted to have a signed contract so I have a set rate for the rest of this year, or this season anyway. But we plan on expanding out for Christmas and doing Christmas cards and such forth too this year. But part of what we do at this time of the year is we look towards the rest of the year. Right now, I'm already purchasing items for Christmas, Christmas ornaments when we run across them. They're cheap as can be right now. And this is stuff we'll just sock away, for fourth quarter. Halloween items we're purchasing now too. Literally hunting for those items now because they're usually cheaper now. Get them while they're cheaper, and then you're selling them when the price is up. So what you want to do is not look always at just what's going on right now. You have to look towards what's going to happen at the end of this year. Throughout the year, you should have some idea. This is where projections always come in handy for us. I look at the numbers. I look at what happened last year. I look at when I started last year and was it enough to proceed with this year. And again, this is why projections are so important. I do have a video on just roughly how to do projections for you. And the importance of it. Not going to drum that in if that's not your thing. I understand not everybody likes to mess with all those numbers. But for us, it sets us up for the whole year. So for right now, our projections, we need to start working on getting the items ready for Halloween. And then on, we've got Thanksgiving, if we do any Thanksgiving this year. And then obviously Christmas will be a big, huge plus for everybody. But you need to start now if you can. If you're doing wholesale, like most companies, I know Toys R Us is going under, but most companies buy for Christmas. Walmart, all the JCPenney's, all the main chain stores all buy for Christmas months in advance, sometimes years or two in advance. So the styles are all locked in and such forth. So if you're doing wholesale and you're already looking into the seasonal, you need to get it while the price is down, because once you get closer to the holidays, the price on all that's going to start to go up as demand goes up. So we start now. We are literally running around and scavenging and trying to hook up with some more deals for Christmas items in quantity, something we can list on Amazon. One listing and sell hundreds of items and get a few of those going for the holidays. If you're not doing it now, you're not going to set yourself up, at least on wholesale and Amazon. Some of it we've actually started way before this. We actually looked around in last year in December a little bit and did make some inquiries. So we already had a list of names and numbers and people who we wanted to talk to who produce items that we could purchase locally. Wholesale-wise, not necessarily locally, but we like to be in control of the items, the best of our abilities, and I like to at least be able to check them all out before I sign anything and give a check out or pay out for big, huge item orders. But don't always be looking at just what's going on now and how you're going to get through next week. You got to look ahead too, and that's part of any business. Any professional business is going to be looking ahead as to what's going on at the end of the year. I mean, you got a big fourth quarter's coming up. That's the biggest time of the year. I know it hasn't even made it to summer technically yet, and school's still in, but you're going to get up to the end and not have everything ready, or somebody's going to beat you to the punch and found out the best wholesale route or the best route for whatever the case may be to buy prior to the holiday. That's what we're doing. And we've already run into a couple places we've talked to that have already had inquiries well before ours. So it just depends. And you need to run by the standardized questions. What's the rules on internet sales? And, if you're buying it, is it locked into a certain region or a certain marketplace? But that's a whole other issue with setting up your own wholesale contracts. But that's what I'm looking for now, and hopefully you get the idea that this isn't just a day-by-day business. If you're going to run it professionally, you got to look at it a year, 2 years, 3 years out, and literally look at each year by year how you've increased or where your fallbacks are, what happened that sunk you a certain time, or where's your mistakes at. That's what you got to do. You got to be able to look at that. And the only way you can do that is by writing down or keeping track of numbers and comparing them month by month, for like this month to last month from the same year, or whatever the case may be. Again, eBay does give some options on there, but it's from what I've always seen and been told, it's only for the top 2 categories you sell in. So if you're like us and you might have 20 categories and your top 2 categories may change on a monthly basis, I mean, it could even change weekly if you have big sales. That's just not very helpful. So we literally chart everything and look at it a different way on projection sheets that we've made in Excel, and literally chart everything out. We look at what's going on. We look at where we need to be, how much inventory we had this year for Christmas versus how much we had the year before and the year before that and the year before that, to see if we have enough, to see if maybe a certain area I sold out way earlier than I should have and I just didn't have enough up. We pull out Christmas items and start getting them ready, in another month or two, to have them ready to go. At least have them scheduled in to be photographed. Again, because we do 90 days usually. So I'll chart where the Christmas needs to be popped in the minute it's available, the minute it should be started. So we'll have it ahead of time. But that's just my take on it. Everybody might have a different opinion, but if you're not looking ahead, for us, we're losing out. We're not getting everything in getting our ducks in a row, my boss always used to say, or one of my better bosses. But you got to have your ducks in a row, and you got to have it planned out in your head and on paper so you know where you're heading. But again, Don, the Auction Professor, just take that in mind. I hope you enjoyed. Please hit the like button and tell a friend.